Anything in this bag that you see, we're going to look at these first. There's probably about 5. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 including the hi-hats in this bag. These ones that you see over here, they're kind of secondary cymbals. I use them, they're still just as good quality. They just come out to the studio or for various types of music. They'd be, you know, in comparison to these, I prefer these to these other ones. So let's have a look at the first ones, and we're going to start with the hi-hats. And these are new beat hi-hats from Zildjian. Just really, really nice hi-hats. There's a lovely stick definition of them. When you open them up, it can be, you know, it's not overpowering, and they're not overly bright, which I really, really like. I used to really like bright hi-hats. Got a pair of these, unreal. Definitely my go-to hi-hats, and people that know them, they love them. If you've never played them, they're well worth. Have a listen to this sound sample here. This is actually a sound sample from a snare drum review that I did, but it shows off the hi-hats pretty well. Okay, so next up we have the Sweet Ride from Zildjian, another Zildjian, 21 inches. It's quite large, and you get an awful lot. No, you don't get an awful lot. You get a good bit of wobble when you're playing it. So you do get a lot of wash from the actual cymbal, but it's nice. I like it because it's an all-rounder. Most of the stuff that you'll see in this bag is an all-rounder. So you can play this for rock, or you can even bring it out for some jazz. Good stick definition of it. I'm not too gone on the bell sound, but that's just me. I find that you get a little bit more too much wood, or too much sound of the actual stick on the bell, but that's just my preference. Still really, really good cymbal. I feel really comfortable playing it. Going back to that wobble that you get, so you do get an awful lot of wash with experienced hands. So if you can control your hands, if you can control your stick heights and things like that, then you can control this cymbal. It's well worth investigating. They're very popular, Sweet Ride. Check them out. Have a listen to this sound sample. All right, so next up is like my new favorite. Now, Istanbul, I love them. I really, really love Istanbul cymbals. This exists. It's a 19-inch Agop. It's really, really good. I've done a review on this. I'll leave a card up on the top there. You can see the full review. You'll hear the sound sample from it. Anyway, from the review, this is quite thin. It's very dark. When you hit it, you get quite an explosion of wash, but then it decays quite quickly. But it's not overpowering. Just it kind of goes to that point where it's a little overpowering, and then it just kind of fades away. It kind of like maybe a little like China, but in a crash form. I love this cymbal. It's my favorite cymbal that I have. It's gorgeous. It's thin. It ticks all the boxes. This is the one that I would have next to the floor tom, so I ride on it. The bell is quite nice, and it's excellent for jazz. You can have a listen to the old sound sample there. All right, so next up here, and that's the last one from this bag. This is a medium thin Zildjian. There's not much to say about this. This is the one that I have right next to the hi-hat. So it's the go-to. It's the one that you're going to hear an awful lot if you're listening to me play on a gig. It just has a very standard crash sound, and that's really all I can say about it. Medium thin, so you do get a good bit of wash. As far as the bell goes, I never hit the bell, but it's pretty good. I didn't do a sound sample of this, but it's a nice cymbal. There's not really much to talk about it. It sounds like a crash. It sounds like an 18-inch medium thin crash. All right. Okay, so let's go on to the ones that I don't use that often, or used to use a lot, but have kind of shaken things up. Cymbals, you know, they come in and they come out of fashion. It's funny. This is a AAX Sabian. Used these a lot when I played a lot of heavier music, heavy metal, rock music. Still play a good bit of rock, but not so much heavy metal. These are stage hats. They're really, really good. They're quite bright. And it's nice to have these cymbals. You know, just to, if you're in a recording studio and they say, I want bright hi-hats, I bring these out. They're pretty old, well over 10 years old. You can have a listen to the sound sample here. This one I virtually never use, and it's simply there just if I'm going to a studio and somebody says, I want a small cymbal. This is 16-inch Zildjian. Is it medium thin? It's medium thin. It came part of the pack of Zildjians that I have. It's fine. I don't really like the smaller cymbals. I never really use this in any of the YouTube videos, so you're not going to get a sound sample. Again, it's going back to what the Zildjian 18-inch that I had there, medium thin. It sounds exactly like you'd expect a 16-inch crash to sound, and a medium thin crash to sound. That's pretty much that one. Here we have the one that I used to be absolutely crazy for, and I had pretty much about 3 or 4 of this set. This is the Paiste, or Paiste, even though it is Paiste, but we won't argue about that. 2002, Swiss-made 18-inch crash. Bright, extremely bright. People talk about these cymbals not having good longevity, that they crack an awful lot. I've never found that, and I've had 3 of them. So, it's just a very bright cymbal, suited to pop, suited to rock, especially that old school kind of rock. It's one that I just don't bring out that much anymore, because I think the sound, and I've discussed this on the forums and stuff, this sound seems to have gone kind of out of fashion. Everything's a bit more darker now. Everything's a bit bigger, a lot more kind of wash and quick decay. These kind of go on for a good bit, and they're very bright. I still like it though. If you're looking for a pop cymbal, this is the one to get. So we'll finish up with this one. This is the AA Raw Bell Dry Ride. This is a great cymbal. It's dry, very dry, extremely dry. The bell on it is just killer. It's ferocious. Again, it might be overkill for some people, just the bell, but if you want a bell sound that you don't really hear the stick, this is the one. Excellent stick definition. You can get a good bit of wash out of it if you really dig into it. I like it. I'm glad I have it. Sometimes I'll just bring this out. This is up there with the Sweet Ride that I have. The only difference is sometimes some music doesn't like this, some musicians don't kind of like this. If you're looking to keep the volume down, this is a really good one too, because you'll just get a lot more of that stick definition than you will a lot more of the wash, but it's still very, very nice. So that's it for the whole cymbals that I have there. You know, what was there? Maybe about eight or 10 cymbals there. And that's what's in the arsenal at the moment. Let me know in the comment section what you have, what you thought of those cymbals. Do you agree with what I said? Or do you disagree? Please let me know down in the comment section. Give it a like on this video, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Guys, hit me up on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and if you like what you've seen here today, you can see a lot more videos. Just click on any of them here on the screen.